Resistance is mounting, but Congress may be on the verge of passing a critical hurdle today to prevent a debt crisis. The House is just hours away from voting on a compromise plan to suspend the nation's debt ceiling. Fox's Doug Luzader joins us live from Washington with more. Big day today, Doug.
Ryan, that it is. Good morning. And they're going to keep us in suspense for a while longer here. We think this vote may happen around 9 o'clock or so tonight. Now that could certainly change, and we're keeping a close eye as the numbers kind of trickle in here, and the opposition seems to be growing.
Mr. Speaker.
It's been hard to keep up with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy these days, and Republicans have been shuttling from one meeting to another, all with tonight's expected House vote on a debt ceiling bill hanging in the balance.
I'm not sure what in the bill people are concerned about.
But those who are concerned about it are not shy in their opposition.
Not one Republican should vote for this deal. It is a bad deal.
A bad deal, say some Republicans, because they didn't get the spending cuts they were looking for in exchange for suspending the debt ceiling. And it didn't help when the Congressional Budget Office reported that changes in work requirements for welfare programs will actually result in more spending.
7 yeas, 6 nays.
Motion is agreed to.
The deal just squeaked through the House Rules Committee yesterday by one vote, setting up today's up or down vote in the full House. Republican leaders say the deal does rein in future spending, but many Democrats have their own concerns, arguing they shouldn't have made any concessions to Republicans. So behind the scenes, President Biden has been working the phones.
The president and his team are having conversation with Democratic members of Congress across the ideological spectrum, moderate and progressives. That includes more than 100 one-on-one calls with members of Congress. That's between the president and his team.
That's a lot of lobbying, so it tells you the degree to which they're assigning importance to this vote. Again, the House will bring this up tonight, and then if it passes, it kicks over to the Senate later in the week to get to the president's desk. And, you know, we've got folks that are keeping track of the opposition to this that think there's about 37 confirmed no votes against this bill right now. Now, that's not enough to kill it. So it's certainly possible, maybe even likely, that this thing passes, but there's going to be some drama along the way. Ryan.
Doug, it sounds like both sides are unhappy with this deal. So doesn't that, it tells me as the average person, that it's a fair deal?
Well, that's right. I mean, you know, listen, if one side was cheering this, then they'd probably have an issue. But it doesn't mean that's necessarily that it's going to pass. I mean, you could have enough opposition, enough anger on both sides that the middle isn't broad enough to cobble together a majority to get it done. Now, right now, if you put money on this, it looks like they'll probably get this through, but you just never know. And a lot of it has to do with the lobbying or the arm twisting that goes on between now and this evening.
Doug, I just don't know if they don't get this done, how they show their faces, how they go to work. I mean,
well, right. You know, the thing about the House, though, is that they're beholden to their own districts. And, you know, for a lot of these, you know, pick your side. A lot of these conservative Republicans or very progressive Democrats have to go home and face districts and explain this vote. And, you know, for a lot of folks, there's a lot of unhappiness over the terms of this deal, either on the far left or the far right.
Keep a close eye on it. Doug Luzader live for us in Washington. Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Ryan.
You bet.